drums, thunder, and battle rings. Raise your voices and lift your swords. The Eastern Tiger is called to war. Beat your plowshares into swords. Black the fields from battle scars. Guided by your Eastern star, hear the tiger's mighty roar. The Eastern Tiger roars. Now heed the call of queen and king as war drums, thunder, and battle rings. Raise your voices and lift your swords. The Eastern Tiger is called to war. Bowmen, loose your arrows swift. Foes will shake at blackened sky. Sky will sing with fatal gift. Guard us with your deadly eye. The Eastern Tiger roars. Now heed the call of queen and king as war drums, thunder, and battle rings. Raise your voices and lift your swords. The Eastern Tiger is called to war. Swear on chain of honor bright. Kneel before your tiger king. Rise the host of Eastern knights. Courage stands through anything. The Eastern Tiger roars. Now heed the call of queen and king as war drums, thunder, and battle rings. Raise your voices and lift your swords. The Eastern Tiger is called to war. Blood of heroes runs through our veins. Blood, the price of honor and pride. Blood that's shed by. Now heed the call of queen and king as war drums, thunder, and battle rings. Raise your voices and lift your swords. The Eastern Tiger is called to war. Beat your plowshares into swords. Black the field.
Greetings, good gentles all. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the fourth Ethereal Court of the Kingdom of the East. And with that, herein opens the court of Her Majesty, Margarita de Siena, and their highnesses, Tyndall and Albrecht, princes of Timara and heirs to the throne of the East.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're sorry about the technical difficulties, and we're still excited to bring you news and updates and recognition of the people of the East.
Good afternoon. It is, I'm sure for many of you, a lovely day, which makes me happy and sad at the same time, because as I look around, I see many people realizing the things that we had planned for this weekend. And I'm glad that you were still able to take some time to join with us to celebrate what we are able to accomplish during these times. As the weather gets warm, it truly will become a temptation and a crucible to remain vigilant and cautious. And I'd like to thank everyone who's putting forth efforts to keep us safe and so that we can return healthy.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us on this day. It is truly a beautiful day here in Concordia, where I sit here and present to you all. And know that we love you and miss you very much, and to please stay safe. Now, I would like you to charge your glasses as I give a toast to our honored dead who have fought for us in times of need and who have died for our freedoms.
The next thing we would like to do is, while we're thinking and remembering people, one of the groups of people right now that are missing out on a little bit more than just the latest skating event is our graduates. And so we've prepared a special little video to honor the graduates of the SCA.
at this time that Her Majesty and their Highnesses would continue to recognize the inspirations found in our dear East Kingdom. First is Aloysius Sartor.
In addition to working full-time for the state legislature, he also takes care of his parents and family. In addition to this, he delivers supplies to other Scadian families, including craft supplies for young children, so that families do not have to go out and risk exposure to the virus, as well as being the web minister for Ravensbridge and archery officer for the province of Malagentia.
Lan Marshall.
In the days of old, when men could be close and gather to hit each other with sticks, this young gentle made sure that even the smallest fighter was included. Lan is a towering young man who is easily 2 or more heads taller than my 8-year-old son, Alexander. Anytime we were able to attend youth practice, Lan had no issue fighting and teaching. Without hesitation, he would drop to his knees to make it a fair fight. They'd have fun together despite the age, division, and height differences. Lan treats my son as an equal and a friend. I don't know any better example of what our society should be. Lan is inspiring me now to keep going, because when the time comes to be together again, he will be there, and I, and of course, Alexander, cannot wait.
Lord Derek Baker.
Derek has worked hard to create a token for all those receiving the inspiration shoutouts. They are lovely mug holders that will be a little thank you and a remembrance of their inspiration during these times. His generosity and amazing craftsmanship maintain that feeling of inspiration.
Mikhail Milraki McHugh.
He is the Thrown Weapons Western Region Deputy and the Thrown Weapons Scorekeeper, and he has been steadily coming up with ways to encourage the community among throwers and participants and support the Thrown Weapons program despite the pandemic constraints, devising small-scale fun competitions for throwers to play in their own backyards, which now has other folks doing the same, working on the online format for the classroom part of martial training and figuring out how to modify the Thrown Weapons Royal Round scoring so throwers won't lose their current rankings. While we can't submit official scores, he's investing great time and effort into the community and program while we'd otherwise just be in a holding pattern, and it's both an inspiration and incentive for many folks.
Eleanor Catling and Gaius.
They host a weekly Zoom session for friends, many of whom are Scadians, which is a wonderful way to connect with people from all over.
John Fitzthomas.
This gentle is hardworking and caring. He's the seneschal of the Baron of Concordia of the Snows, and he's willing to go the extra mile to get things done with always a cheerful disposition. Thank you, John Fitzthomas, for being our seneschal here in Concordia.
Jean de Montagne.
Every Friday, he is hosting an hour-long concert on Facebook of his own songs, other Scadian songs, and non-Scadian songs he just likes. It's such a relaxing way to spend an hour. It's recorded, so you can watch it anytime later on his Facebook.
Anne Mikkel von Salm.
She has been hosting online craft nights. I've not been able to get to the craft night otherwise in over years, and this has been wonderful to see faces and work on creating new things.
Mabe Ada I.
She is an essential worker for a group home and has been doing the job since the beginning. Her cheerful attitude continues to inspire.
Good afternoon. Her Majesty, their Highnesses, and I wanted to let the populace know that we've begun drafting the guidelines for reopening the kingdom. We're seeking advice at the society level, from other kingdoms, and most importantly, from the CDC and the state public health officials. The kingdom is closed for all in-person activities through June 30th, and the reopening guidelines will be available by the end of June. We know that some may not wish to return to in-person activities for quite some time, We understand and respect that choice. We look forward to seeing you when you feel comfortable to return. Thank you.
Once again, we have uncovered a number of scrolls for awards that never actually happened, but probably should have been done at some point. And so it is our pleasure, on behalf of Her Majesty and past crowns, to read these into the record and share them with all of you.
Vulquin Wutand Washbar, Order of the Silver Tiger. Whereas of late it was provided that valiant men should no longer languish unrewarded and in recognition of certain services rendered thence to us for the defense of our kingdom, we, therefore, to the profit of our realm, wishing to provide a fit remedy to those who serve us, by advice of our knights, counts, and other subjects of our realm who are of our council, have provided, established, and ordained that our very loyal and skilled subject, Vulquin Wutben Washbar, shall be included in the rolls of our Order of the Silver Tiger, and further, that we do give unto him the right to bear arms. And therefore we command you to cause these aforesaid letters to be read before him, and further do we enjoin that he shall bear the tokens and signets of this order, in witness whereof we, Wilhelm and Vienna, do set to our own hand at the Black Rose Ball in our barony of the Bridge, the 23rd day of March, Anno Societatis 53, in the first year of our reign. Calligraphy and illumination by Eredin Guiu, words by Anastasia Gutta.
Nicole, daughter of Patricio. Kenrick the King and Abelina the Queen, to all bring greetings. You should know that we have given and awarded in perpetuity to Nicole, daughter of Patricio, the right to bear arms. On the occasion of our coronation, this gentle lady Nicole was sure-handed and kind in her handling of children. Her grace and the service she renders to the kingdom leads us to do this. We have had this charter marked with the protection of our names, done upon the 29th day of May in the 50th year of the Society in our barony of Concordia of the Snows. Calligraphy by Constance de Saint-Denis, words by Alice McIntosh, illumination by Woodhaven Scriptorium.
Toki Staffstruck, Order of the Silver Tiger. Beast's claws drawn, carving one's destiny, nothing but courage between samurai and foe. Belief in deeds over words to prove one's worth, balance of peace and war to tame the silver tiger. Calligraphy and illumination completed by Yasmin bint al-Hajar, words by Hassan ibn al-Malik, Japanese translation done by Ryoko Jin of the Iron Skies.
Hi. Thank you, Audrey, for that. Our next thing is our mask count. You at the East Kingdom, everyone has been so busy and we're all having different things that we're focused on. But I need you to know I'm so impressed. Our mask count is 6,238, 116 scrub caps, 241 face shields, 300 ear savers, and just so you know, 6 inkle looms have been created for the online classes so others can participate. The East is generous. Thank you so much.
It is at this time they would continue to recognize those who are inspiring in the East. Kieran O'McTeer.
If you have never had the opportunity to meet this good gentle at an event, that is your loss. He is kind and generous, and he's down in Iron Bog. He's a clinical researcher and has been helping to share knowledge of fun facts to distract from normal news, just putting some interesting animal facts and pictures that serve as a fun distraction, but also a great way to learn some things of just kind of a different variety.
Katrin Morgan Telgerdottir.
She is keeping the dream alive, doing mundane deliveries for her farm by wearing garb, always with a smile, I assume behind the mask, and spreading cheer. She is just a shining light.
Solveig Bjarnadottir.
not just for mass, but her calligraphy and sharing her humanity, her articles on her WordPress site, and hosting Zoom gatherings.
Bronwyn Rose, otherwise known as Bros.
Rose has a special place in my heart, not just for what she has been doing, but for all the things that she's helped me personally with. She's been donating fabric and other materials, mailing it out, and doing drop-offs so others can sew and make masks. She's been enjoying the sex club book club. Oh, sorry, that's for another person. Thank you very much.
Druetta de la Rosa.
She's a healthcare worker. She's a healthcare worker, but is still making masks and sewing full. Her location became a testing center, and there she is fighting the fight to keep her head up and family going, trying her best to avoid the dangers out there, stay safe, and keep up the amazing job.
Eleanor Gray.
Eleanor has been working many long hours and shifts at the hospital, catering to her family. And though she's struggling to find her way with her SCA, her heart is with everybody, and her friends just wanted her to know that we're thinking of her. We ask you guys to keep filling out those inspirations, and we challenge Running Mead to recognize your populace. Who around you is doing things that are inspiring, who's keeping you going, even if it's something as simple as they're checking in with you.
Before I speak about event bids, I'm going to mention, as well as sending in inspirations, do not forget to continue to submit the Children of the East for the Toys for Tigers program. I know that my children have been making toys to send out to others, and it's just the ability to stay connected with the youth of the kingdom is so important. As we are looking forward at the hopeful return of events, I'm watching the states as they start to tweak and change the regulations. New York State's preparing to make some changes as of this morning. We are still looking for coronation bids, and we're going to ask everyone to really go through the official bid process there. That allows us to check viability against mundane regulations as well as SCA requirements and get the bid in front of the people to approve it, so that, especially as things move quickly, we're prepared to take advantage of that. On top of that, our second priority is looking forward at the ability to turn over some champions. And so as we are, in addition to looking for coronation bids, if there are groups that can facilitate the transition of kingdom champions, those are additional events we would be interested in looking at the possibility of getting onto the kingdom calendar.
It is at this time we will continue to recognize some long overdue award recipients.
James Sutherland of Inverness. Let all who hear these words know that we, Brennan Basilius and Keelan Basilisa, have heard the name James Sutherland of Inverness repeated often from various quarters around our great and noble kingdom of the East. From the armored and rapier fields, we hear of his diligence at practice, but more, we hear of his generosity with his crafts, as well as his selflessness in using his skills in the medicinal arts to ensure safety at events. And for this, we do see fit to name him a lord of our court and award unto him arms, done on this the 25th of July by our hand in Anno Societatis 53 at the event of East Kingdom Novice Day in the generous, noble, and gracious Shire of Rusted Woodlands.
Corwin Fearless, an Order of the Silver Tiger. Wilhelm and Vienna, König and Königin of the Eastern Realm, to all singular nobles, heralds, and other persons unto whom these our letters shall come, greetings. All should know that at the humble request of our dear and faithful advisors, we have considered the skill of Corwin Fearless And this we are led by the high repute which attaches to his name on the field of combat, to induct him into the Order of the Silver Tiger. And that this decree may be valid forever, we have ordered this document to be written and confirmed by the royal names signed below. Done at Crown Tournament in the 53rd year of the Society on this, the 3rd day of November. Furthermore, do we award unto him these arms to be carried by him and him alone. Scroll by Carmelina Vicari.
Corwin of Ostgard, award of the Silver Mantle. Greetings to all who hear these words. Know that we, Brennan, mighty Emperor, and Keelan, gracious Empress of the vast eastern lands, have listened with attention to the many voices singing the praises of the noble and honorable Corwin of Ostgard. His skill and dedicated service to the art of thrown weapons has benefited our realm greatly. Thus, we are pleased to induct him into our Order of the Silver Mantle and to award him arms. Done on the 21st day of April on a Societatis 52 at Balfar's Challenge in our barony of Dragonship Haven. Scroll by Catherine Stanhope. Scroll for James Sutherland of Intervals, which I don't believe I mentioned, was by Vittorio Antonello.
We would like to let the populace know that there are many changes going on, both behind the scenes, mundanely, and a lot behind the scenes here. Their Highnesses and I have been working along with many different groups to discuss online awards. At this time, starting in June, we will be doing silver and grant level awards. These awards will be an opt-in or opt-out choice. We ask that everyone continue to show respect for people's choices. We're excited to try this, and we'll see how it goes.
In further recognition, more inspiration from the East. Don Christoffel Delaine Lacombe.
Seneschal of the Barony of Dragonship Haven. He set up video meetings over a year ago so that homebound members could attend, dedicated his position running a cancer research lab, taking care of his wife during surgical recovery and complications while traveling through multiple states for his college students. He has raised, fostered, and mentored 15 children, all while attending and supporting the SCA. Don Christoffel also continues to support baronial members that are homebound during medical recoveries.
Mariette de Bretagne.
Our wonderful Kingdom ANS Education Deputy, who has been assisting to facilitate arts and sciences class scheduling, teacher training, and class monitoring. The virtual ANS classes have been such an uplifting experience to the population, and her work is truly invaluable.
Ronil Desali, otherwise known as Lady Rat.
She is a former Easterner who has volunteered to transcribe the urethral courts so that those with the hearing issues can read the wonderful things that we have been saying here in court today and previous.
Countess Fortune St. Keen.
She has been doing some online classes with food and with her sex book club. She's been leading and hosting basically lots of conversational interests of the East.
Kane Ramsey.
Master Kane has been having a difficult period in his real life. His loving friends have brought him joy through spam. Kane's grace during the long days of onslaught of spam and Nicolas Cage has been an inspiration to all of us. Thank you for having fun.
Taisha Zukieva, better known as Ty.
Ty has been working her fingers to the bone. She's been busy making masks and hats that are needed, as well as sending out fabric to others when she doesn't have time. She is a pediatrics ICU nurse and is working all the time. Thank you for your dedication. We are all very excited and sad that we're not together. We're excited that the East has bloomed and blossomed, has inspired not only our kingdom, but mundane world as well. And we are celebrating the East today.
In the sunrise we march through the fog on the field, till your eye sees the bold eastern banner revealed. There's a clamor arising from each sword and shield, and we roar as we enter the fray. Though on this day our forces are dwarfed by the foe, we are tigers united with valor to show. Every warrior defending our realm blow for blow. Win or lose, they'll remember this day. We are the fighters, we are the makers, we are in service, preparing the feast. We are the elders, we are the children, we are all family, for we are the East. In the work of our hands and the work of our hearts,
shaping glass, shaping metal, and thread to our arts,
we are learning,
then teaching, all playing our parts, to bring all of our crafts to new heights.
As we sit round the fire, singing old songs and new,
and our voices combine, whether many or few,
there's a bond we create that feels hallowed and true, to sustain us on long winter nights.
We are the fighters, we are the makers,
we are in service, preparing the feast.
We are the elders, we are the children,
we are all family, for we are the East. For the long months we plan, putting work before fun.
For each pot that we scrub, for each list that we run.
Be we cook,
be we royal,
we do what needs done, for the splendor that must be arrayed. We researched our designs, are the letters just right?
Scratching ink into scroll, working late in the night,
till the gas from the cord, as it catches the light, marks a memory that won't ever fade. We are the fighters, we are the makers, we are in service, preparing the feast. We are the elders, we are the children, we are all family, for we are the East. remember the times we each felt so alone.
Though we lived in a kingdom that we'd never known.
Now we found it, embraced it, and made it our own. And we're bound here by so many ties. It's remarkable now to discover that we're each a part of this tapestry. That much is clear. In these moments of joy, we fly back through the years, and the centuries fade from our eyes. We are the fighters, we are the makers, we are in service, preparing the feast. We are the elders, we are the children, we are all family, for we are the East. We are the fighters, we are the makers, we are in service, preparing the feast. We are the elders, we are the children, we are all family, for we are the East. We are all family, for we are the East. We are all family, for we are the East. We are all family, for we are the East.
That video was very touching to my heart, and it made me feel that I am part of a very wonderful family of the East Kingdom. I would like you to charge your glasses, for there is a toast that we must do. Is it to our essential workers each day fighting on the front lines, for keeping the stores open, for keeping everything going that we can always have. Thank you for joining us this day, and I miss you and love you and can't wait to see everyone again in person.
And as we look forward to next month and coming back, I would just like to touch on a few of the themes that we will be having in the Ethereal Courts next month. The first one, if you are not aware, June is National Accordion, right? I'm playing an accordion. National Accordion Awareness Month. I am now aware. You are now aware. I'm not encouraging people to play accordions. What I would love to see is any SCA activities, pictures of any SCA activities that involve music. Any type of music. If you're performing the music, if you're enjoying the music, if you're dancing to the music, anything musical that has to do with the SCA. The second Ethereal Court in June, late June, will of course fall very close to a place dear to my heart, Tirmara and Canada Day. And so I would love to see pictures celebrating the Principality of Tirmara, that we may enjoy the mundane Canada Day as well as the SCA Principality that is such a beloved part of the East. And I would just like to close by once again saying thank you to everyone who was here. As we roll into the summer and as we see days on the calendar, earlier this week I was talking to my son, and he reminded me that we will not be having a Penzic this year, and that he personally was disappointed. He was looking forward to Penzic, and it wasn't a conversation we'd had before, but I was glad we had that opportunity. I knew he knew he was coming to Penzic. I wasn't aware how much disappointment he had at missing that opportunity this year, something that he's been doing 15 out of his 15 years. And I suspect that we're going to, even knowing, come to those realizations as we move forward. And as a community, if we can support each other, if individually we need to reach out, please do so. I know that I'm going to be relying on people close to me as we move forward. And if you need help, I am here. Others are here. Please just take the time to remain a part of the community, or to step away and find some comfort.
My dear ones, we are so glad that you were able to join us. We all have our up downs, our up days, and our down days. And I hope you will take His Highness's advice and reach out. Don't hesitate to take a step back and to jump right back in. Each of us are in a different place. Each of us are learning how to move forward. And as we do that, a support from each other is our main goal. We miss you. I cannot wait until we can gather again and see people. The East Kingdom is full of inspiration, of laughter and joy. And today we celebrate you. We celebrate everything that you are and everything you will be. Remember, we'll get through this together and we will be stronger for it. All my love.
Good gentles. On behalf of the Crown of the East, I want to thank you all for joining us for the 4th Ethereal Court, the 5th Ethereal Court. The Court Strikes Back, I think, is going to be the 5th, is going to be Saturday, June the 13th at 4 p.m. For Her Majesty and their Highnesses, herein closes the 4th Ethereal Court of the East. Long live the Queen, long live the Princes of Timara, and long live the people of the East.
Panthera tigris, tiger, supposedly solitary. However, tigers have their gatherings, tigers have their streaks, tigers have their stripes. Each stripe is but a small part, yet always a part of the united whole. Every single stripe is a story, an old story, a new story, a story yet to be told. Each story is different, but yet all a part of the very same tale. This stripe, the maker, the arduous, the dedicated, the craft. This stripe, the herald, the research, the patient, the deep breath. This stripe, the archer, the quiver, the bow, the integrity. This stripe, the monarch, the crown, the poise, the diplomacy. This stripe, the bard, the word, the song, the real. This stripe, the fighter, the honor, the shield, the field. This stripe, the scribe, the paint, the ood and odd, the steady. This stripe, the child, the wonder, the promise, the ready. Each stripe is no less than the other. Every stripe, side by side, seldom identical, hardly the same, but still together in every measure, a part of the game. Panthera tigris, tiger, supposedly solitary. The eastern tiger, a kingdom, solidarity. And though we stripes, we tigers are all hidden away at home, do not fret. Only remember that we are not alone.